All right, I do see Ms. Natasha Bunning is with us as well, who's the mother in this case. Ms. Bunning, have you received a copy of the petition that's been filed in this matter?
Last night, yes.
You have an opportunity to read it?
Yeah, I skimmed through it.
All right. Do you want me to read it to you, or do you believe that you can read it on your own?
You can read it to me if you'd like.
It's about 9 pages long, so it's going to take me a while to do that if you'd like.
That's okay. Never mind.
All right, I'm happy to do it, but just be prepared for it to take a while. So if you want to read it on your own, that's fine with me as well. So,
okay.
All right. Ms. Bunning, are there any other courts that are involved with your children at the moment?
Yes, I believe so. It's through Travis Stallard's case.
Okay. And do the children have any Indian heritage?
No.
All right, thank you very much for that. Just making some notes. The purpose of today's hearing, Ms. Bunning, is because there was an emergency removal order entered yesterday, and you're entitled to have a preliminary hearing, or at least an initial hearing within 24 hours to make sure that we're following the rules appropriately. The requirements of today's hearing is simply that the Department of Health and Human Services give me some record of why the children were removed. It's not an ultimate determination of whether that was correct or not. It's simply to determine if there was a small amount of evidence that allows them to do that, and then would have a further court hearings down the road, and you'd be able to contest those things if you wish. We will also most likely appoint attorneys either for yourself or for the children to make sure that their rights are being preserved at that time. Do you understand the nature of today's hearing?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Sommerfeld, do you have a witness for me to be used today?
I do, Judge. Can you briefly go over the rights about being represented by an attorney, having a trial, calling witnesses?
Yep, I'd be happy to do all of that.
Thanks.
Ms. Bunning, if you wish to contest this matter, you have the following rights. You have the right to have a contested hearing that could be in front of a judge or a jury. You'd have the right to see, hear, and question the witnesses against you. You'd have the right to present your own witnesses and evidence. You could get an order from the court called a subpoena to require those witnesses to appear and testify. You could testify, or you could remain silent, and that silence could not be used against you. You'd have the right to be presumed innocent and to proven guilty beyond beyond a reasonable doubt. And you'd have the right to appeal. The children would have the right, as I said, to have an attorney represent them, as well as sometimes called a guardian ad litem. That's what that term means. Mr. Sommerfeld, are any other rights that you wish me to advise her of?
Well, Judge, some of those were the criminal rights of beyond a reasonable doubt. She does have to testify. This is a civil matter, and the standard is preponderance of the evidence. I just want to clear that up.
Thank you, Mr. Sommerfeld.
Yeah.
All right. Ms. Delaney, would you raise your right hand so I can swear you in? You swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. Go ahead, Mr. Sommerfeld.
Thank you. Ms. Delaney, how are you employed?
I'm a children's services specialist with the Department of Health and Human Services in Otsego County.
Okay, and did you file a petition regarding, I don't know, I'm probably not going to say these right, but it's Nevaeh Ferris, Naomi Ferris, and Narina Ferris?
Yes.
And are all those children, do they fall under the child protection law? More specifically, are they under the age of 18?
Yes.
All right, so I'd like you to describe briefly, as a CPS investigator, do you receive complaints that you have to investigate?
Yes, we are assigned complaints from centralized intake and then through our supervisor that if assigned, we are required to investigate.
Okay, and the 3 children that I mentioned, who is their mother?
Natasha Bunning.
Okay, and do you recognize her today?
Yes.
We're on Zoom. Okay. Now, Dad here, his name is Richard Ferris,
That's correct.
and he is not a respondent?
That is correct.
Okay, and the location of the children, what county did these allegations you were investigating, where do the children reside?
They were with their mother in Otsego County, Michigan.
Okay, and so this complaint, did the department, I know there's other workers that were involved, did these allegations that required an investigation start around June 1st of 2025?
Yes.
Okay, and what was the nature of the first complaint that you outlined in your petition for removal?
It included allegations of domestic violence between Travis Stallard and Natasha Bunning. as well as an allegation of child abuse as Travis Stollard, one of Natasha's children, Naomi, leaving a mark on her arm.
His teeth?
That's my understanding.
Okay, and did one of the department workers, were they able to view that alleged injury?
Yes, a CPS investigator, Andrea Cervini, observed the injuries and took photos of the same.
Okay, and so this, the allegations of domestic violence and child abuse, they involved the 3 children that I identified earlier?
Yes.
Okay, and so at that time, tell us about what did Ms. Cervini do regarding those allegations that you've outlined?
She forensically interviewed all 3 of the girls, as well as Ms. Bunning, I believe. And ultimately, CPS open ongoing case was created.
Okay, and the ongoing case, that's considered a Category 2 case?
This was a Category 2 case, yes, with Travis Stollard as the perpetrator.
Okay, and so this Travis Stallard, what is his relationship to the mother, Natasha Bunny?
Up until last evening, the information that we had been receiving is that they were friends or people that hung out together. But last night, Natasha, when we were doing the removal, Natasha referred to him as her boyfriend.
Okay, and so did that incident, did that happen around June 1st of 2025?
Yes.
Okay, and did that incident also end up resulting in charges for Travis Stallard?
Guys, the judge wastes no time. An emergency removal order is already in motion, and the mother instantly realizes this isn't a routine hearing.
Yes, and I want to clarify something. I apologize, Mr. Summerfield. I believe that it might have been May 31st. We might have received our allegations, but I believe the actual incident was May 31st. I apologize because Mr. Stallard was arrested for domestic violence at that time.
Okay, and it was domestic violence. Who was the alleged victim?
Natasha Bunning.
Okay, and was there also charges of child abuse for Travis Stallard?
Yes, the prosecutor's office amended the complaint on June 3rd and charged domestic violence second offense and child abuse 4th degree.
Okay, and then the alleged victim for the child abuse was who?
Naomi Ferris.
Okay, did the court, upon arrest, did it have any type of provision regarding Travis Stallard having contact with Natasha Bunning and the children?
Yes, I don't know exactly when, but I know that a no contact order was issued between Natasha Bunning and Travis Stallard.
Okay. There was other allegations that were received on June 7th of 2025. Can you tell us what those were and who investigated that?
Yes, the allegations indicated that Natasha had been yelling at everyone in the home. She chased Naomi down the street, and when they got home, she slapped Naomi in the face, and it was alleged she was drinking at that time, and that was investigated by Matthew Lawrence with our office.
Okay, and according to your petition on page 7, the you came up with a plan for these ongoing services to prevent removal?
Yes, in conjunction with Mr. Lawrence.
And what were some of the things that mom was supposed to do to kind of like ward off filing a removal petition of the children?
Participate in the Families First program, which she did successfully. Naomi is exhibiting some mental health and behavioral problems, so she was supposed to be attending counseling at Community Mental Health. There's a separate incident involving Naomi and another young child, and for that reason, Naomi was interviewed at the Child Assessment Center very recently. The department made arrangements for Naomi to have a substance abuse assessment because alcohol is an issue in this matter. She had indicated to Mr. Lawrence that she'd been drinking, and sometimes she doesn't make the best decisions when she's been drinking. And then, of course, to follow the court's order is to no contact with Travis Stallard.
Okay, and then a third complaint was on or about September 27th of 25. Are you familiar with that?
Yes.
And this is the one, as this case went on, we had Andrea Cervini, we had Matthew Lawrence. Did you start addressing this case as the ongoing CPS worker for Otsego County?
Some of the allegations that we received, I was addressing through the ongoing case. However, the September 27th, 25 allegations were actually assigned as a new investigation, and I conducted that investigation.
Okay, and tell us what was alleged in that on the September 27th of 2025 Why did you have to conduct another investigation regarding mom? And was it the same 3 children?
Yes, it's been consistently the same 3 children, and the allegations included that Natasha was leaving the children home alone to be with Travis Stollard, that the children were hungry and there was no food in the home, that she was not supposed to be around Travis due to criminal charges with him against Naomi. These are the allegations, and that her behavior has changed. Natasha has issues with drinking. She and Travis are drinking together. Um, and that Nevaeh had chased the other children around the house with a knife, and Natasha was not home at the time.
Okay, and through your investigation, were you able to confirm any of the allegations in the complaint?
Yes, I did not confirm that there was no food in the home. The house might have been low on food, but there was food. It's just not food that the children chose to eat. And Natasha is working, and the shortage of food was known and being addressed. But the issue that I was able to establish did occur is that Natasha left the children home alone to be with Travis Stallard.
Okay, and that by itself, Mr. Travis Stallard was not supposed to have contact with Natasha.
That's correct.
Okay, and so were you able to substantiate the allegations in the September 27th of 2025 complaint?
Initially, I was not going to substantiate the allegations because although it's the department's opinion that Natasha should not be having contact with Travis Stollard, that in and of itself was not sufficient, but additional allegations came in, and so the case was substantiated.
Can you tell us about those additional allegations that tipped the scale to what I guess is you filed a petition for removal?
Yes, on October 27th, CPS received additional information that Natasha had on October 25th left her minor children home alone to be with Travis Stollard. There was a very minor injury to Naomi's toe. Naomi could not reach her mother. She was texting her stepmother, Kaylee Ferris, as late as 11:16 p.m. on a Sunday night, asking for, a little bit of comfort and guidance as to the injury to her toe. Indicated she could not reach her mother, and the girls estimate that Natasha got home about 1 a.m.
All right. And so the children here, are they teenagers?
No, the oldest is 11.
Okay. And with the oldest being 11, the other children are younger than that.
That's correct.
Okay. I'd like to go, is custody of the children with Naomi, does it present a substantial risk of harm to the children's life, physical health, or mental well-being?
Yes.
Can you give us an explanation for that?
Due to the ongoing concerns about Natasha leaving the minor children home alone well into the night, sometimes overnight, quite honestly, choosing the alleged abuser of her children over her children, and ongoing substance abuse concerns that the department has, it's affecting her ability to properly supervise her children.
And that presents that substantial risk of harm that I described in the beginning of my question.
Yes.
Okay. Is there no provision of service or other arrangement except removal of the child that is reasonably available to adequately safeguard those 3 kids?
Yes, because ongoing services and monitoring have been being provided, and this, as indicated in my petition, continues to be a problem.
Okay. Tell us why continuing the children in mom's residence in their home is contrary to the children's welfare.
Because I believe that they are at substantial risk of harm. As indicated, Naomi has some behavioral and mental health issues. They're 3 young girls home alone. There was the injury to the toe. There have been fights between the girls. They need supervision.
Okay. Were consistent with circumstances, reasonable efforts were made to prevent or eliminate the need for the removal of the children?
Yes.
Can you describe those reasonable efforts to prevent removal?
There have been Families First services, services authored through Community Mental Health, numerous CPS investigations, the open ongoing CPS case, goodwill vouchers, and referrals to Women's Resource Center, as well as court intervention through the criminal matter.
Okay, and conditions of the children's custody away from mom, are they adequate to safeguard the children's health and welfare?
Yes.
And tell us why.
They were placed with their father and stepmother last evening, and that is a home and people that they spend regular amounts of time with and have an established bond and relationship. They have 2 half-sisters in that home as well.
Okay, so in that home, the children will be supervised, and there's been no identified safety issues like were identified in Natasha's Bunning's home.
That's correct.
Judge, I have nothing else, Judge.
All right. Ms. Bunning, do you have any questions for this witness?
I don't have any questions, but I mean, I have a comment.
Well, I'm going to give you an opportunity in the future to make any statements that you wish. I simply don't want you to say anything that may be used against you later. And I think it might be prudent for you to speak with an attorney before you make any statements in that regard. Is that satisfactory to you?
Absolutely.
All right. I have no further questions of Ms. Delaney either. Mr. Sommerfeld, do you have any additional witnesses or evidence that you want to adduce?
No, all I would do is ask the court when it concludes that we get a good address from mom and that the court can send the JC 111, the advice of rights, after removal, while the court, generally went over the advice of rights in the beginning. The JC 111 is more complete and will perfect the process for purposes of today's hearing.
All right, thank you. All right, I do find that there is sufficient reason to order the children, continue to order the children from the mother's care and into the father's care at this time. There was appropriate finding of substantial risk of harm based on the factors testified to by Ms. Delaney, that no other service or other arrangement can safeguard the children from this substantial risk of harm, that it is contrary to the children's welfare based on the lack of supervision and the children's needs and their young age. The reasonable efforts have been made to eliminate the need for removal, given all of the services provided not only in the criminal and child abuse case testified to, but what CPS has already done in monitoring for a number of months, and that the conditions away from the parent are adequate to safeguard because they're currently with their father and stepmother with whom they have an ongoing relationship. So for those reasons, I do approve and the ongoing order from the court to protect the children with placement with the father under the supervision of DHS. We will appoint attorney for mother, Ms. Bunning, and we'll also appoint a guardian ad litem for the children, and we will reschedule this matter for a continued preliminary hearing so that additional court hearings and review may be done once the attorneys are involved and Ms. Bunning can have participation in that. Ms. Bunning, where would you like the notices sent to of that continued hearing?
To my address.
The judge delivers the verdict. Custody removed, kids placed with their father, and the court openly states, Mom chose an abuser over her children. Actions had chances. Warnings had time. Now the consequences arrive. Like the video and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.